Ethan had never expected to find a tiny, shivering fox cub in the woods near his cabin. The little creature was barely a few weeks old, its fur damp and its eyes wide with fear. There was no sign of its mother. As the cold wind howled through the trees, Ethan sighed and picked up the cub. "Guess you're coming home with me, little guy," he murmured. Back at his cabin, Ethan wrapped the cub in a soft towel and warmed some milk. The fox hesitated at first, but soon began lapping up the milk greedily. That night, the tiny animal curled up in Ethan's old sweater and fell asleep, safe for the first time. Days turned into weeks. Ethan named the cub Rusty, after its fiery red fur. Rusty followed him everywhere, tugging at his shoelaces, climbing onto his shoulders, and even curling up beside him by the fireplace. Ethan had never intended to raise a wild animal, but the bond between them grew stronger each day. As Rusty grew, his playful nature became more mischievous. He stole socks, knocked over books, and even figured out how to open the fridge. Despite the chaos, Ethan couldn't help but laugh. Rusty was no longer just a rescued animal. He was family. One evening, as Ethan sat on the porch, Rusty trotted over and nuzzled his hand. But something in his eyes had changed. There was a longing, a call of the wild. Ethan knew this day would come. The next morning, he took Rusty to the edge of the forest. "You're free now, buddy," he whispered, though his heart ached. Rusty hesitated, looking back one last time before vanishing into the trees. Ethan returned home, his cabin feeling emptier than ever. Days passed, and he often found himself glancing at the woods, hoping to catch a glimpse of his friend. Then, one night, he heard a familiar rustling outside. Stepping onto the porch, he saw a sleek, grown fox sitting at the edge of the trees. Their eyes met, and for a moment, time stood still. Rusty hadn't forgotten him.